So thank you, Jan, so much for sitting with me today. It's the first week of Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you for your time. I know pulling you away from your day-to-day duty is a little bit difficult sometimes, and so I'm glad to sit with you. But we identify ourselves many different ways. You know, we have Latino, Chicano, Hispanic. Why don't you share with me a little bit, like, how do you identify yourself as a Hispanic?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate the time and the opportunity. I am obviously Jan Blanco-Arroyo from WIA. I'm at the sales manager position now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I am Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican, American, I would consider myself, because I moved up here when I was 2, and obviously I've grown up my whole life here in Minnesota, which it's my second home, but back home is Puerto Rico, which I get to go every year, or if I can, which I was just there 2 weeks ago, but I consider myself Hispanic. Obviously, like you said, there's different ways to identify yourself, but yeah, Puerto Rican American. And
Fun. So Puerto Rico, I'm sure that was tough with COVID, probably having to stay away from family, so it's probably nice to get back in that routine again.
Yeah, no, it's for sure is, after the hurricane as well, because there's a lot of hurricanes down there. I would go back there just because family is a big thing down there, and I take pride in my family, and it's a little bit of me, and I don't want to lose that, because I know my generations probably won't be from Puerto Rico. So
yeah, I mean, so true. So what would you say, I mean, that seems to be probably one of the most important things about your culture is your family?
Family is big. Obviously, we have big parties, as you probably know.
Yes, I
do. They kind of call you out if you're late and things like that, or don't make it.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
But it's part of the culture, and we always have a good time, and that's all part of being together and just enjoying each other's time.
Enjoying each other, family comes first.
Nope.
Like, if you have another commitment, I'm sorry, I've got a birthday party I got to get to, I'm going to that, and then we can talk about anything else I need to do.
Pretty much, yep.
Awesome. So what brought you into the auto industry? What, is Walser your first like dealership automotive group that you've worked for?
Yeah, pretty much it is. I used to sell shoes. I was a store manager at Foot Locker Champs. I wanted something different. I kind of got tired of the retail of shoes and just being at the Mall of America and just craziness. So I wanted to change it up. I applied for Walser and a couple other dealerships, but I got an opportunity. Brent Fangle at Nissan, which now he's at Honda, gave me an opportunity to join Walser and be a salesperson, and that's kind of how it started. And now I'm here at WIA as a store manager almost 7 years later, but just kind of that's how I got in.
7 years.
Yeah, pretty much going on to 7 years. Yeah.
So what's got you staying? I mean, that's a long time, and just curious, like, what is it about automotive that keeps you here all this time?
Yeah.
I love it. I've been doing it for almost 13 years, but
yeah, I was 20 years old when I got the job, so that's pretty young joining the automotive business, because a lot of people are usually older or been in it for a long time. I was just hungry. I just wanted to sell a car and just get on to the next person and just move buggies. And it just gave me a thrill and an adrenaline rush, and it kind of carried me through this journey of 7 years, which is crazy to say, because sometimes I'm like, wow, that's a whole decade, which I'm going on. But a lot of people in Walser that I've met in my path have gotten me to this role. Randy's a big part. He's my general manager, but a lot of people know him in the industry too. But yeah, that's kind of how I got in.
So do you think there's a place for Hispanics and people of color in the auto industry? I mean, we were kind of talking about this before, but you said you were kind of the first person that you had on the show floor that was Hispanic. How crucial do you see that diversity being a necessity for us?
Yeah, as the world changes, I think that's one thing that the automotive business has to too. Randy actually took me from Nissan because he needed a Hispanic person. He lost one of his workers. But it's kind of cool because at this store we have probably a good percentage of us are Latino or Hispanic. It's just kind of cool because you get those customers that are very timid to walk in the door just because they don't know or understand. Maybe they have broken English and things like that, but they can communicate, but they don't understand really what the process is going, how it works. Obviously everybody's country is a little different, so it might work differently there than it does here. People don't know how to build credit or how it works, so that's kind of the cool part of just educating people.
That must be pretty cool. I mean, 7 years, you've probably seen a lot of repeat customers,
Yeah.
and educating them on credit and the financial literacy that doesn't really translate easily, but being able to do it in their language is probably a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
So why does representation matter to you besides, being able to help your customers and speak to them in a language? Is there any other things that come to mind when you think about the representation on the show floor? Or
it's just nice to have somebody that knows a different language, because there is those people that walk in and there's somebody else that looks like them, or they feel comfortable versus something else. I mean, you can't judge a book by its cover because you never know what's really going on. And I'm a big believer on that stuff, so I never judge anybody when they walk in, and I just open arms, smile, and just greet them, and how can I help,
Throw them that yawn smile that we all see when we walk in the door.
Yeah, just have fun with it. Because a lot of people, like I said, they don't know what's going on, or they don't understand, or they have their kids translating for them. And I've done that for most of my life when my mom was, trying to get used to the American culture, and I helped her in big scenarios, and it's kind of crazy to think I was only 12 or 10 years old talking to doctors like, hey, this is going on, and my mom's like, I don't know what's going on. So it's the same thing in the auto business. If you see somebody that you feel comfortable, you're more likely to buy from them, or just bring business, because there is a lot of people that still call me to this day, hey, I got my aunt or uncle, or I got people that are from a different country that just came in, I need them to get a car. How can you help? So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So moving on to some fun stuff. I mean, when it comes to our culture, food is a big piece of it, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say is like your favorite family dish, or like your favorite food when it comes to like, man, like this is what I really want? When you think of it, you think of home, you think of your family, like.
Yeah, white rice, arroz blanco con habichuelas with beans, and lechon, which is pork. So pulled pork kind of, and tostones, which are fried plantains.
Yum.
Yeah, those are healthy actually, and they're really good if you make it the right way. So
awesome.
That's my favorite dish. But you are right, food is a big thing in our culture, and when you have barbecues, there's a lot of food, and there's going to be a lot of plates that are going to go with you home. Like I know my mom sends me home with probably 3 or 4.
You're like, I'm good for the whole week.
I'm good for the whole week.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I'm glad to get to know you a little bit better, and excited to kind of just share this with everybody. But it's Hispanic Heritage Month, which we celebrate starting on the 15th through October 15th. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jan.
Thank you.